in the morning, heart of South Philly. Let's go see what the people have got to say. I'm ready to roll if they need me.
Now listen here, Dutch. Mets and the Cowboys, they suck.
1, 2, 3, go Birds! Go Birds! Here we go, 302BIRDS, Gino Stinks. Go Birds! Oh my gosh, chat.
Your favorite Chicagoan, go Phils.
As always, God bless. Go Birds.
Get your water ice and soft pretzels ready because you are now tuned into a 302BIRDS podcast experience. Proudly presented by TickPick, Nick's Pizza, El Diablo Burritos, and Klondike Kate's on the heart of Main Street. Let's take it to the show.
There's just something in the air right now. Some kind of special feeling. You can feel it. It's playoff football in Philadelphia. There is nothing like it. Quick announcement, surprise. Me and Mac are going to be there on Sunday. Compliments of the McCoy family. Thank you to them.
Yes,
but,
sir.
I mean, if you can't tell by the pure smiles on our face, we are hyped up for some playoff Eagles football. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of 302BIRDS. We got a jam. I say jam-packed, but it's really jam-packed tonight. I think it might be like 13 topics. Kicking it off with a quick concussion update with our guy, Matt Campbell from the Midwest Concussion Clinic. We're going to be starting with that here in a second. Then going to be doing an Orange Bowl preview. Talk about the Flyers flopping a little bit. Ashley will, of course, help us with that and her expertise on the Flyers because, you know, me and KJ can't talk about them to save our lives. But somebody who KJ can talk about to save his life is a Sixers update. We'll talk about the hot and cold with them. Talk about the Eagles owning the New York Giants and them really just becoming an extension of our franchise. Tanner McKee being better than Kenny Pickett and why he should be the QB2. Some Packers injuries that could potentially help the Eagles. Of course, you would never wish an injury on a player, but with some key players like this being out, it's going to have a big impact on the game for the Eagles. Kellen Moore potentially getting some job interviews. We're going to give a preview for the game on Sunday, of course. Talk about the Eagles potentially being Super Bowl bound. But let's not keep you guys waiting. Let's just dive right into it and get into our call-ins for a concussion update.
What do I want when I'm in the state of Delaware? Of course, El Diablo Burritos. Customer service always is serving your food with a smile on their face, asking how your day is, but their food is phenomenal as well. Their burritos are out of this world, one of the best burritos in town. Their queso is phenomenal. Their burrito bowls are amazing as well. When you're in and around Delaware, stop by your local El Diablo Burritos and tell them that 302BIRDS sent you. God bless, go Birds. Thank you, El Diablo Burritos, for that sponsorship. Like I said, if you're in and around Delaware, stop by your local El Diablo Burritos. Tonight we got an update with Matt Campbell. We saw that. How you doing, Matt?
Hey, great. Thanks for having me again, guys.
That's good.
Welcome
so
back.
We saw that Jalen Hurts was practicing today. But do you think there's still kind of concussions looming, or what's your update on that? What do you think his update is?
So, first of all, the NFL has some of the best medical staffs in the world. So when we talk about kind of this overall safety, the health of Jalen, he's progressing great. He's getting the care that he should. The NFL has a 5-step concussion protocol that everybody hears about, right? It's the dreaded protocol. They're in the protocol. They're in the protocol. Well, the protocol is just a stepwise process to make sure that Jalen's actually healthy enough to get back on the field, right? So today he was cleared for limited practice. You know, when we look at kind of the overall view of it, that stage 4 is that kind of club-specific or team-specific kind of exercises, non-contact. NFL quarterbacks are always non-contact during practice, but at the same time, that's the second to last step that he needs. Now, the final step that he just needs is your clearance from his team physician, clearance from the independent neurological consultant, and he'll be back on the field, right? So right now, Wednesday, he's a limited practice, kind of what you expect for a game coming playoff week. It sounds like everything's starting to lean the right direction. I'm excited to see him come back ready for the playoffs and ready to go. Not having a Colts influence in the playoffs this year, I got to cheer for somebody. So, might as well, go Birds.
Yeah, I love it. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Hey, might as well. You got to do something. We can't seem to figure it out. So,
hey, we got a lot of players in common and some old coaches. Steichen was one of ours, and Sirianni was one of yours first. So
yeah, and then we got the Wentz that you guys you win with, and we had him.
Yeah, you even had Bulls too. You even had Bulls too.
Yep.
I had one question for you, Matt. I know I've never had a concussion, but my buddy under me has had quite a few. And seeing anybody recover from a concussion, it takes a little bit to kind of get back to your full health. When do you think, as Eagles fans, do you think it'll be at some point in Sunday's game? Do you think he'll never be the same? Do you think it'll be like 2-3 weeks? When do you think we'll see the normal Jalen Hurts, for lack of a better term?
Yeah, so generally when we look at the injury itself, it's kind of an energy crisis inside the body. That metabolic cascade that goes on, it takes roughly 30 days to kind of get back to normal, right? So what he'll be dealing with is he may be a little slow on the uptick. He may be a little slow from an energy side effect, but I mean, he's a gamer, right? He's played football his whole life. You get him back in the game. If he's healthy enough to be cleared by the independent neurological consult, I mean, he's ready to roll, right? So you may see some rust those first drive or so, but I mean, the way he performs, the way they got everything scripted out, the coaches are going to have him set up for his best 10, 20, 30 plays, whatever they script out, are going to be ones that it's like, hey, let's get his feet wet. Let's try to make sure that, we're not seeing that, big risk for big hits early on, and just kind of get him into the flow of the game. Unless you're Joe Burrow, you really don't like to take big shots in the game. And then that seems to get some of those quarterbacks going. Joe's just the first one that came at the top of my head. But hopefully when we get Jalen in there, that it'll be kind of get his feet wet. He may be a little bit more winded than normal, but at the same time, it's football. Go out and play and go win another Super Bowl, go win a first round matchup, and keep it going.
Yeah, they got to get out there and they got to get back to the same team. And it all starts with Jalen. One thing I also wanted to ask, I remember the point you had a couple weeks ago that athletes just recover quicker than the average Joe. Yeah. Is there anything else as an athlete or just as an individual that Jalen can do to help excel his progress, like eating habits or anything like that?
Yeah. So, the big things when it comes to concussions are things that you can do for free, right? We want to sleep really well. We want to hydrate really well. And we want to make sure that we have high levels of certain vitamins and supplements that are in our body at all times, which is why, your NFL athletes, your high level athletes tend to recover faster because those are in their system even before they get hurt, right? So the things that he can do to recover is exactly what he's been doing, right? Is to go ahead, make sure that you're prioritizing taking care of your bodies. I mean, it's just like taking care of a car or a truck for somebody who's a truck driver. The body is their tool, right? The body is the thing that they use to kind of play the game that they love to make their millions of dollars. He's, you got to trust that he's got the people around him that are sitting here and saying, hey, like, this is what you got to do. And again, the medical staffs are the best in the world.
Yeah. Thank you. I mean, KJ, do you guys have any questions for Matt about?
No, I mean, I think he covered pretty much everything, and that's awesome.
Thank you, Matt.
Perfect. Hey, appreciate you guys. Go Birds, and we'll take one home for this week, and hopefully I don't have to talk to you again.
Yeah, that's
Thank you, Matt.
Hey, it's a great relationship. Good job, great season. Hopefully I don't have to see you again until next one.
Hey, but we know we'll see you again. And guys, please make sure to give Matt and his business a follow. Midwest Concussion Clinic. He does stuff remotely online too, so you don't. If you are local to the Midwest, great. But if you're not, you can do stuff remotely with him too. So when that guy up there gets his next one, inevitably at maybe his wedding or something in a couple years from now or whatever, we're going to be calling you up, Matt. Or if he gets back out there on the rugby field.
Hey, we'll add it to the list of crazy stories. I'm ready for it.
or you can mention the time where you guys go on the boardwalk and Jack does this thing where there's those punching bag things. You ever see it at the arcade? Well, this guy does this crazy thing where he doesn't even do any hands. He does his full-on head.
Nobody wins in a headbutt. You've heard that, right? nobody wins in a headbutt.
It's unexpected, the headbutt's unexpected.
That's very true. That is very true.
I'll send you the video, Matt, because you're going to get a kick out of it. And it's definitely what you can show people not to do.
Perfect. I'm going to add it to the highlight reel. Be like, hey, you see this guy? No, not.
Don't do what he does. Exactly.
All right. I appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of your show. Good luck this week.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Like I said, guys, please make sure to give Matt a follow. Midwest Concussion Clinic on Instagram. That man is grinding, and he's doing a great job. He knows what he's talking about. So like I said, if you're remote, if you're local, either way, support the man and his business. Moving on now to our next topic. Well, guys, have you ever seen an Irishman and a lion get into a fist fight and walk into a bar or some shit like that? Well, guess what? It's going to happen this weekend. Old Mac on old Jordan.
Let's go. I'm so
I don't think KJ knows what is coming his way. Like we said before the show, the Penn State Nittany Lions played against the Boise State Broncos. So that wasn't really a challenge at all. And I don't think Coach Franklin has it in his bag. And I think Drew Aller, he had a great game last game, but I don't think he's gonna be able to go up against this Notre Dame defense because, when Notre Dame beat Georgia, our defense was unstoppable, and we have pulled all these crazy plays that most coaches don't expect. So I don't think McCoy knows what he's, thinking of, getting this game. He probably should have really rethought.
Look, he's calling you by your Irish last name too.
He's only been a Penn State. He's only been a Penn State fan for 4 years now, so I think he chose wrong, and we will see oranges thrown at KJ. I'll be in spirit at the Eagles game, and all you'll see is just oranges thrown at KJ. If you guys are at the tailgate and KJ's there, please throw an orange. Please bring an orange. Well, I will pay you $1 or $5 on orange that is thrown at KJ because Notre Dame will take this W with ease.
Here's the thing. Before me and Dalton head to Lincoln Financial Field, we're actually heading to where you live, and we're going to actually not egg your house, we're going to orange your house. And that house is going to be orange as freaking like a cone, a traffic cone. It'll be orange as this, that orange as the Flyers logo. But yes, it's going to be an intense game. It could go either way. You guys do not have your running back.
Havens knows what's up.
What's up?
Havens knows what's up, baby.
Low-key rooting for Notre Dame. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of numbskulls that are going to be rooting for Notre Dame. There's a lot of people in this nation for no reason who have no connections with Notre Dame who just were like, you know what, I'm just going to choose Notre Dame because I saw them on TV. I saw them on NBC. Oh, I like the flashy helmets. Oh,
you hear that, Havens? He's calling you a numbskull, bro.
I like the little leprechauns running around and going over the rainbows. I love the little leprechauns. So me even being Irish, no, I never wanted to be a Notre Dame fan. No, I never really wanted to be a Celtics fan. Well, kind of, but no, I was joking. But me and Dalt were, but it was like we were young and whatever.
Hey, thanks for exposing me there, buddy. Thanks for taking me down with you as you go down.
We both did, but we were delusional back then. But here's the thing. I am a Penn State fan, and there's reasons behind it, many reasons behind it. My uncle, who he actually was married to a woman who was a Notre Dame fan, but he was a Penn State fan. And he did pass away years ago, and that was one of the reasons. But then also one of my good friends, Josh, he went, not Zepp, he went to Penn State. I went to a Division III school, so I have every right to root for Penn State. I live in Pennsylvania. It's my state team. Technically, it is. I've been to the stadium 3 times now. I've been to the campus. Love the campus. I fell in love with the campus there. And that's the reason I'm a Penn State fan. But that's not the point of this. Penn State is going to shock you. I'm telling you this right now. Abdul Carter is a beast. He's a top 10 pick in this draft. The Eagles might even try and trade for him and get him in the future. I'll tell you this. Also, you got Rojas, the linebacker. You even got I never met him, but I know people who know him. Dom DeLuca. He's a beast. He had a pick 6 and another pick in one game against SMU, even though SMU sucked. They were horrible. They should have never even been in it. But I'll tell you this too, though. Nick Singleton is better than Jeremiah Love. Straight up. Straight up, he is better than him. It's not even close. Not even close. But Drew Aller's going to go off, and Tyler Warren is the next coming of Travis Kelce. He is. He's a beast. He's a beast. So you're going to have to watch out. And
does that mean that he's going to hook up with some
pop star and ruin the
NFL?
Are going to be able to contain them there, laddie. Well, let's see what happens.
I mean, all I got to say is we have a two-headed beast at running back in Jeremiah Love and
Jadarian
Price. Jadarian Price went off last game.
Jeremiah Love's hurt.
Okay, but Jadarian Price is a better fill-in for him. So, I mean, all this nonsense, all this bullshit about, all these players I can name. Abdul Carter is not going to do shit against this offensive line.
Abdul Carter is going to shut down that running back. Guaranteed.
We have nope. We have one of the, I think, one of the best receivers in what's his name? The guy that pulled across.
Oh shit.
Anyway,
at Penn State, the guy that played the Chris.
No. Jordan Faison. Jordan Faison is some kind of different person. He's going to be the next Devontae Smith if he goes into the NFL for get drafted in the NFL, or he might do professional cross. But this team is going to run it down their throats. They're going to pull these plays out of their fucking pocket. Marcus Freeman, I think this is, they said this is third year there as a head coach, and it happens in 3. So you're going to see Marcus Freeman hyped on the sideline. He is a great leader for this team, and they will do anything for Marcus Freeman. So with that being said, Notre Dame's going to win 35-21.
Can I just say one thing before we wrap up on this too? Don't worry, I'll give it to you too, KJ. I just wanted to say from my perspective, not really have any stake in the game in this. I mean, I'm rooting for Penn State because that's who most of my friends are rooting for. But look at this shit. This is the battle of the fucking boring helmets in college. Like, come on, guys, get some more creativity. That was my takeaway from this. Anyway.
Yes, it is the boring helmets. I will say that. That's the one thing.
I mean, they could use you could do a sick ass. I don't know. They might have it already with a helmet with a fucking Irish on the side like this. That would look. Could you imagine 2 fists as like the bird wings coming out on the side of your helmet? Dude, oh my God. Yo, Notre Dame Fighting Irish. There's my idea right now. I'm selling it to you. Take the fucking fist of the Fighting Irish, take it here, put it right there on the helmet. Holy shit. Would that not look sick, Jeff?
Also, I mean, I think Riley Leonard's a much better quarterback than Drew Aller. And yeah, this is going to be interesting because this is my last thing. My mom is one of 11 kids, and the majority of her siblings are Penn State fans. There is only her and my one uncle that are Notre Dame fans. So this is going to be a civil war with the Courtneys, and I love it. But yeah, I'm excited to see this game. It's going to be a really good game. I don't think it's going to be a wipeout on either side. I think it's going to be a lot better, matchup than they had against Penn State had against Boise State. So
who's Trace rooting for?
Penn State does choke this game. Me and all the other Penn State fans are going to want James Franklin just out of there. But that's just how it is, though. I mean, we hate James Franklin, and that's just how it is because he just chokes games, and it's annoying. But I'm going to tell you this. I think Penn State they had the momentum. I think, honestly, they are on a high right now, and they are going to win this game. And I'm so confident they are going to win this game that I am going to propose a little bet to you, Mr. Jack. So if Penn State wins next week or whenever I see you the next time, you got to rock like a Penn State hat or something, and you got to say some certain things saying that Penn State is the better football program and the king of Delco. They are the kings of the Delco Bowl, and they own the Notre Dame Irish. If Notre Dame wins, I will do the Irish Mac, and I will say all the stuff about Notre Dame and everything, and I will do a bunch of stuff.
No, this is what I want you to do. When Notre Dame wins, you will do the Irish jig, dancing to it, singing that Notre Dame is. You're actually, you're going to sing the
fight song?
Yeah, their fight song.
Okay, then you have to sing the Penn State fight song. Then you have to sing the Penn State fight song.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah,
that's fine.
This is every Delco dude's wet dream.
Yep. Let's go. And you gotta at the end, you gotta go row row like a mountain lion would. So there you go. But this is gonna be interesting, everybody. So when you guys think of who wins that game, it's you're gonna think of me or Jack now, because whatever happens, the punishment's happening. So it's on like Donkey Kong.
Sounds like a plan.
And shout out to Sheffield Shuffler for saying it best. I mean, he hit the nail on the head. I think it was one of the greatest analogies I've ever heard. Every Delco dude's wet dream. I laughed out loud when I saw that, because you think about it. And the one thing I had in my notes too, bars in Delco are going to have an all-time weekend. It's going to be a fucking movie tomorrow night, because you have this on Thursday. So the guys that really want to get started, the true Philadelphians, are going to start their bender Thursday night, and then they're going to carry it into Sunday morning at the link. So, I mean, this is going to be an all-time weekend for Delco bars, and it's the ultimate test of Delco loyalty. Are you rooting for the Fighting Irish, or are you rooting for the Nittany Lions? Are you Team Mac or Team Jack? I mean, my favorite thing is all that's missing from this is the Wawa Hoagie halftime. And this is literally the fucking Delco ball. And Tom Salucci's buying a ticket.
Yeah, wait. That's why I wanted Tom, the king of Delco, to be here.
He's busy working, man.
Okay. Does anybody know, though, who he is rooting for in this game?
I would imagine Penn State. Jack, want to tune in on that?
I think he hates Penn State as much as he hates the Cowboys.
I don't think he's
aligned with. I don't think he's aligned with any college team.
Really?
I don't think he really is. I don't really think he cares about college.
I would have thought he would, especially being a Delcoian as he is. I would have thought he would at least be either Penn State or Notre Dame. Someone's got to ask him. Somebody let me know at the end of the.
I'm texting him right now. I just sent it in the group chat that we got to know. He said, I think he's the 484 number that just texted in there and said that he's at a work event. But yes. Yeah, he would have been our other Flyers expert, because the king of Delco wouldn't miss a Flyers hockey game. It's just a Delco thing to watch Flyers puck. But Ash, I mean, the Flyers have been flopping. You put it best.
Yeah, they have games where they look like they are an NHL hockey team. And I think part of it too is like Mitchkov started off his season elite. And I read a quote earlier this week that's like, he went from elite to, now that we are playing good teams, to very good. He's not playing poorly, but he's not playing at that elite level that he was earlier in the season. So there are nights where they, again, look like they should be an NHL hockey team. There are nights that they look like they're playing Pee Wee hockey. And there's not really anything in between right now. All of the coaching staff has said that they're kind of giving Mitchkov, or they're kind of going with the flow at this point. There have been nights that they've set him or pulled him and benched him. That's not a bad thing. At this point, they are just trying to get him comfortable with the game. He is already tired, and part of that is just the switch to the NHL and all that entails, as well as just the fact that when you're playing good teams and your whole team is at times mediocre at best, your good guys are going to get tired out faster. So they don't want to burn him out. I, at this point, have no concerns from him for like the long term. I would like to see them starting to kind of get into a groove that I felt like we were seeing earlier in the season, but we will see. And hopefully, now that they're kind of in this longer stretch again, that they'll be able to kind of get a rhythm and get comfortable again. That's all I have on the Flyers.
So the answer is in Tom Salucci.
The Delco ball, Dutch.
He's Penn
State?
Yeah.
I knew it. Yes.
I think he would go with the home
happy.
team.
I'm pumped, Ballpark. Let's go.
He usually goes, he's a homer, Tom. That's why I like Tom. That's why me and him have always gotten along. He's a homer. But anything else, Flyers, Mac, or Jack, you guys want to say? I wouldn't assume so because I know. Cool.
Flyers,
well, other than that, I know Ashley might be leaving a little bit soon, so we appreciate you, Ash, as always.
Of course. And go Birds, and hopefully we'll have a good report next week.
Can we have a quick score prediction from you on your way out for Sunday?
Yeah, a score prediction. I am going to go 31-24. They're going to play us hard. It's going to be definitely a game of what defense can kind of hold it out, and I'm hopeful that now that our team is hopefully going to be much more healthy, that we will be able to pull it out in the end, but it's not going to be the blowout that a lot of people think it's going to be.
Go Birds!
Go Birds! Have a good night, y'all.
You too.
Have a good one. All I gotta say is, and then this is all I'm gonna say about the Sixers. They pissed me off. Not the Sixers, but the goddamn Joel Embiid and Paul George pissed me off. I looked it up today. You know how many games them combined have played this year?
I think it's around like 5, right? Or like 3.
No, combined. Like not together. I'm saying like in general, like how many games have they played on the court?
I think it's like 8 or 9, around that.
4?
No, it's like 18 games.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, that's still
That's
low.
more than I thought.
Oh, it's
Right.
more, actually. Yeah.
And you know what?
And that's kind of concerning.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid is making $51 million fucking dollars, and Paul George is making $49 million fucking dollars. And this team can't. I mean, they're winning right now, 109-103, but it's against the Wizards. The only hope I had for this team was against the Celtics and on Christmas Day where they won. But this team is a bunch of imbeciles. It just seems like they don't want to be out there. They don't care about this fucking team. They don't care about the city. Joel Embiid's a fucking bum. Like this is really sad. Like, I don't know. I had never seen the least amount of heart out of this team in years compared to what I'm seeing this year. So that's all I got to say.
Yeah, I mean, you are exactly right. Joel, I mean, he's been kind of like, he's been playing, obviously. He's got the mask on now. He's got that Batman mask. But he's actually been okay points per game. He's been doing all right. He's had some 30-point games recently. But I still am at the point where I still am not a fan of him. And it's going to take, like, I don't even know what it'll take for me to ever get on board with Joel Embiid again. I mean, he lost a lot of my respect. I talked about it a couple shows ago. Actually, I think at like the start of the season of like how my respect for Joel Embiid is just gone. So much that I've literally, my Joel Embiid jersey is still on eBay. No one's bought it though, and I don't blame them, but it's still on eBay. So, I mean, I've lost a lot of respect for him because I feel like he is what Jack was saying, like stealing money from the organization. And the organization is someone to blame as well. I mean, they gave him the contract. They believed in him, and they believed in a guy who is as fragile as an iPhone without a case. So that's what they really believe in. And it sucks because then you get Paul George, who I was kind of hyped for, but then I also knew that like Paul George, he didn't pan out in LA with the Clippers. So I was like, dude, there could be a chance he doesn't pan out here. He's a year older. It's just, we get these star players out of their prime, and it sucks. The only guy we really had in his prime was Jimmy Butler, and we let him go. And that's what just sucks. But I think with the Sixers right now, though, I mean, it's ramping up a little bit with the NBA. Obviously, you got the NFL season ending, and obviously more of the attention will go to the NBA. I think the NBA ratings have went down. They plummeted. They've been horrible right now in general. Like, it's just been bad. And
you want to know what the percent, like how much it has gone down is? I know it.
I think it's like something around 50 something or 60.
48%.
Okay.
Wow.
48%. Around that, yeah.
So half of fans stop watching?
Yeah.
Again, I think it has a lot to do with the NBA Cup stupid thing. And I think a lot to do with just the pace of the game is just different. And it's annoying. It's just like, I watch college basketball way more now, but like, I'll still like tune in because I'm such a basketball like fanatic. So I'll still like look at the scores, and I'll still like go down. I'll switch off because I have YouTube TV now. So I'll switch off to the Sixers game, but then I'll also be watching the Georgetown game. So I'll be doing that. But yeah, it sucks because the only guy really on the team right now who really has heart that I feel like has heart is Tyrese Maxey, the guy right there. And he plays every game like it's his last. And he kind of has that Iverson mentality. And you want to see him do well. But it seems like the organization in general, though, doesn't want to do well by him. And that starts, though, with this guy, Joel Embiid. I wish I could point correctly.
Are you Joel Embiid?
No. I'm trying to point to him.
Pointing at yourself there.
But yeah, Joel is just it's really annoying, though, because he is just immature. And it's hard to root for the guy. It's so hard to root for him. It's hard to defend him because it's just he doesn't really back up what he says. He just doesn't. And then he gets injured or like you don't hear from him. He's like a ghost in the midnight. It's like he just disappears, dude. It's annoying, man. I mean, when you've lost respect from me, it's as Dalt just said, like that's really rare for me. And you can ask a bunch of my friends. You can even ask my brother.
Especially for Philly athletes, too.
You can, yeah, like I was a huge Joel Embiid guy, but I lost it once they gave him that contract. And it just the way it's just been playing out and how he was saying that he plays for the city. You don't play for this city. This man played for this city. Nick Foles played for this city. Jason Kelsey played for this city. Allen Iverson played for this city. Heck, Bryce Harper plays for the city. You do not. You're a fraud. So, yeah, I mean, even if the Sixers do win this game against the Wizards, as Broad Street Sports just said, it's a crappy win because it's the Wizards. The Wizards are like poverty. They've been poverty for so long, but we are poverty as well. So it's a trash game.
Yeah.
It's a trash game.
The only thing I want to say is I have lost my respect for him too. And it's a shame because Embiid was actually probably my favorite Sixer for a long time. I loved his off the court antics. I know you said he's immature, KJ, but I thought some of that actually played well for him. Just being a locker room guy. Sometimes it's good to not take things seriously, right? You're in such a hostile environment. You're making so much money. There's so much pressure. Sometimes it's good to just be able to laugh and say, hey, it's okay, and be a teammate. But it's to the point of where he is detrimental to the locker room, KJ. You're right. Like, it's not fun and games. It's like, it's stupid, immature drama bullshit. So they got a lot to fix. It's been hot and cold. And I really just feel bad for Maxey because Maxey's just stuck in between it right now. And he's really making the best of it. There could be so many other ways that he could go about it. You see so many of these players, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be here. I want to go. And there's been none of that with him. He knows he's staying put and he's happy to be here.
He acts like a professional, and that's what Embiid does not. Embiid does not. And it's funny to say that Embiid is the older one, but Maxey acts more like the veteran in this situation. He really does. Like he actually has the maturity and it's so annoying with like Embiid. It just really is. And until they can really do something productive in the playoffs, it's just like, it's tough for me to even just, and I mean, I'm going to be doing the Sixers podcast because I love basketball and I want to do it. So we'll be doing that pretty soon coming up.
You'll suffer. You love suffering as a Philadelphia sports fan.
That's what I got to do. That's what I got to do. I mean,
that's how it is.
I'm a Sixers fan for life, but I mean, I gotta roll with it though. So you know what though? If this team is screwing it, then I'm screwing with them, I guess.
Well said. That might be the quote of the week. If this team is screwing it, well, I guess I'm screwing it with them. Said like
not in sexual terms. I didn't mean
no. I'm just saying like you're stuck with them. You're dragged through the dirt with this team, and that's what they do to their fans. They screw over their fans. It's a bad product, so you're screwed. I get it. I thought it was funny.
Now before we kind of move on, I will react to this though. I do feel like Paul George is an upgrade, though, from Tobias Harris. And here's the reason why. Even though he's playing less games, the points per game, though, Paul George does have more points per game. And Tobias is sucking crap right now in Detroit right now. He sucks over there. Even in Detroit. For the Detroit Pistons, he still sucks. He's a fraud, man. Tobias is a fraud. So, I mean, it's like, as much as Paul George is like pissing us off, when he does play, like he does average 20 points per game. But yes, he's fragile. He's getting old. He's hurt. And it's misery with this team. It is misery so much that I just want to crack this cup in the smithereens. Just sucks.
Well, let's not keep putting you through it. But before we move on, I do want to hit a quick intro for KJ's Court and remind you guys, download the Sleeper app if you haven't. It's the best place to play fantasy football or basketball.
You are now listening to KJ's Court, Sixers Talk presented by the Sleeper app.
Well, you already listened to it, so thanks for listening.
Thank you. Exactly.
Thank you for listening.
And moving on now to our next topic, we're actually going to be bringing our boy who's backstage, Haven's joining us. How you doing tonight, Joe?
What's up, guys? How we doing?
Pretty good.
So if you guys don't know, Joey holds it down on our Keys to Success on Instagram. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Give him a follow. It's I Ran Out of Ideas. It's some number. I forget what it is, but you'll see him tagged as a collaborator on the post. So when you see I Ran Out of Ideas, there should be one idea, and that's follow Joey. But Joey, I mean, we pretty much own the Giants. In my notes, I have written down that they're pretty much a minor league development team for the rest of the NFC East right now. Would you say that assumption is accurate?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they showed nobody any competition this year. Didn't everybody sweep them this year in the NFC East?
Oh my God, that might be a stat. I gotta look that up.
That puts them in the basement, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They
Cowboys.
The
Cowboys beat them
Oh, okay.
once, and the Giants won the other time, I think.
Well, that's the Cowboys, so.
Yeah.
So that's pretty embarrassing, though. That's pretty embarrassing for them. But, yeah, I mean, with this team, one of the things that I saw ultimately was, hey, the third stringer stepped up. Everybody played good football. Dallas Goedert has really been a central piece. I know in that first half, they were really using him, and it's nice to see him kind of get his reps. I don't know if they're just trying to pad his stats at the end of the year or if they're trying to get him playoff ready. But this game was a good confidence builder for this team. This game was actually what set up the Eagles to have their 14th win, which I think is extremely significant because the last time that the Eagles were a 14-win team, we know that they went to the Super Bowl, and history repeats itself. So, like I said, I mean, a minor league development team for the rest of the NFC East. New York Giants, thank you for developing Saquon Barkley and then giving us that flower when it is bloomed and ready to rock as the NFL MVP and lead us to a fucking Super Bowl Lombardi trophy. New York Giants, thank you for just not showing up and giving us 2 free wins a year to help pad our schedule and pad our team. 2 games that we don't need to worry about. New York Giants, finally. Thank you for having such an awesome stadium that we can come to every now and then and not just beat you, kick the shit out of you in. It is a beautiful relationship that we have with you guys as our minor league team. Thank you for what you do, Giants fans. We appreciate you. Let's give it up for the Giants fans.
You missed one. You gotta thank them for bringing back Joe Schoen and Brian Dable for 2 more free wins next year.
We gotta thank them for the pass, just like Deshaun Jackson thanked Matt Dodge recently. Thank you, Matt Dodge, for punting that ball.
Oh yeah,
I saw that last night. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so he thanked them. But they are in the basement, and I know Colin right now is probably throwing a brick at his computer, and he probably wants to rip Dalton's head off right now. But understandably, makes sense. But the Giants, it's just, I know so many people who are Giants fans, and I feel for them. Like, the thing is, like, people ask me, they'll be like, oh, do you hate the New York Giants? No, I really hate and despise more than anything the Dallas Cowboys. I don't really hate the New York Giants that much. I don't. I thank them just like Dole. I really do. I go to sleep every night and I do my prayers, and then I also thank the Giants. That's what I do. I just thank the Giants for Saquon Barkley. So thank you, Giants. You are in my ritual every night now, so thank you.
And the one thing I wanted to say too, sorry, Jack, I just want to say this really quick and I got you. A team, I saw this on Reddit, so shout out to Reddit for this. A team ran by Dan Snyder has won the division more recently than you. Twice. Dan Snyder. That's bad.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's bad.
Well, yeah, and you decided to pay a quarterback, salary or, a big contract. And where is he now? I think he's on the Vikings right now. So that just goes to show how the GM is making really horrible calls and doesn't know what the fuck he's doing with his team. I honestly, I like Brian Dable. I think he's a good coach. He just hasn't been dealt the best hand. But I mean, this team, they don't really have a quarterback, and I'm not sure who they're going to pick up. But we fucking beat you with our backups, dude. Like, we had Tanner McKee in, who I was slinging it. We had Will Shipley, who was rushing it. We had TJ Edwards score his first touchdown. Not Edwards.
TJ Edwards plays for the Bears now.
Yeah, he's a TJ Evans.
Anyway, talk about number 84.
That's John Dotson. No, he's 83.
Oh, 84. The tight end, right?
Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, we got all these young guys, like we talked about on the post-game show, that got to play. And it was a game that we didn't really care about, and we still beat them by a lot of points. So it just goes to show that this coaching staff that we have this season, it speaks a lot for them, because without that coaching staff, I mean, Kenny Pickett and Tanner McKee wouldn't have beaten the Cowboys like they did. So it just goes to show how good of a staff we have and how we're a force to reckon with every year. I mean, it was a shame to see Saquon Barkley not break the record. He probably would have. But yeah, it's a nice feather in our cap to sweep the Giants and the Cowboys this year. Wish we swept the 49, or I wish we swept the Commanders, but we didn't do that. But yeah, this team is just something different, and it feels so different than it has in the past, especially during our last Super Bowl season when we won.
If you want to talk about incompetent ownership on both sides too, that was the one thing I had in my notes, like Jack said just a second ago with the Cowboys and Giants take. You look at both the owners, and they're pretty much just donating the wins to the Eagles and Commanders. Right. So Commanders fans, for the first time in a long time, you guys are actually relevant again. Congratulations. Somebody who's going to be relevant as well for our Eagles. We can quickly just talk about this and say what we want. I would personally say, after watching Tanner McKee's game on Sunday, the way that he played, the way that he commanded that offense, the way that he commanded that snap, the way that he just took leadership of that entire offense confidently, it reminded me of when Nick Foles was out there. You know who I used to fucking hate when he was a QB for the Eagles? Sam Bradford. You want to talk about a guy who looked like his dick got kicked in every time he went out there? Let's talk about Sam Bradford. First off, his fucking posture was fucked up. I just hated it. I couldn't stand the way that he looked. It freaked me out, and it looked unconfident from the start. So you already are losing the mental game right off the bat.
He stood like an ostrich. It was weird. He was like
he just like an weird. Ostrich. But when Nick Foles came into that offense, there's a statue of the man, for God's sake. I don't need to describe it. What I'm trying to say is Tanner McKee reminded me of that confident Eagles QB that commands his offense, that tells the guys where they're going to be. He just looked more confident out there than Kenny Pickett. Now, I'm not saying Kenny Pickett is Sam Bradford. I don't want to slight him either. But I feel like it's in our team's best interest, whether it be McKee's hands, his height. It truly might be his height, all jokes aside, because he can see really well over that offensive line, and that makes it tough as an NFL QB. But I just think, in my opinion, from what I've seen this year, you got to put McKee at QB too if something goes wrong. You got to.
I mean, if you think about the height, though, that's like saying the same thing with Carson Wentz, because Carson Wentz just got killed by the Broncos, and they didn't even score a single point. Well, they lose like 30-0. So, I mean, like, they're probably at the same height. But I think with that, it's crazy, because I hear people all the time say, oh, well, Tanner McKee should be the starting quarterback of the Eagles. They should bench Hurts. What the hell are you talking about? What are you smoking? I don't get it. Like, honestly, dude, Jalen Hurts led us to a freaking Super Bowl. What else do you need him to prove? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't get it with some of these fans that say that kind of crap. And I'll tell you this, though. Did Tanner McKee, did he look good? Yes. Did he play a mediocre Giants team that played zone coverage? Yes. That's what he did, though. And that's why it made him look so good, because they were spaced back. They were standing back. They were giving the Eagles receivers space. That's why Dotson was able to get open, unfortunately. And we also saw some other receivers get open too. So I mean, that was what McKee was doing. But yeah, I think McKee at best, I do think he could be a quarterback too, but just not here. I just don't think here he could be a quarterback too. I really just don't. I think somewhere else he could be a backup quarterback. And if someone goes down, he'll be a good backup. Is he a Nick Foles? No, he's not Nick Foles. I do not think he reminds me of Nick Foles, or does he look like him at all, like playing style? Just don't. I just don't. But I think the hype of Tanner McKee is just unnecessary and just stupid. Really stupid.
Let me ask you guys a question, and everyone can answer this question. So my question, excuse me, that I dropped something. So my question to you guys is, okay, so we know that Jalen Hurts hasn't been practicing or hasn't played in the last 3 weeks, okay? We know he's going to be a little rusty. If we see him struggling early on, do we bring in Tanner McKee or do we bring in Kenny Pickett? Because I don't think he will, but just if that were to arise, what should we do? What would we do?
Kenny Pickett.
You think so?
Kenny Pickett, because he has more experience. He has more experience, and I know people are going to be like, oh, well, Kenny Pickett had that stupid fumble thing that almost was a fumble and whatever. If anything, that was like a weird stumble thing. It was like a freak accident. Kenny Pickett, he did okay with the Steelers. If you look at like his record with the Steelers, he did okay. I know a lot of Steelers fans hate him and whatever, but I believe in Kenny Pickett. It's not just because I put on that jersey and whatever like that, but I believe in him as a second string. I really do. I just think Tanner McKee just doesn't have the experience. I do think, though, he has some talent, but I just think the hype train for him is just makes no sense. And it's just like, I think people just love to do that, but it's fine. I get it. But like the guy is at best a quarterback too, but just not for the Eagles. That's what
Dalton,
I think.
Joe, what do you think?
I'm going to disagree with KJ here.
That's okay. That's okay.
I think you should put Tanner McKee in, and I think because of this reason. So, last week he was playing with what? Backups, third stringers, yada yada, whatever. When he played the Cowboys, he looked good. He looked good with AJ Brown. He looked good with Devontae Smith. I like that connection. And the big thing going into this game is Jair Alexander's not playing. I mean, stay away from Xavier McKinney, but that Packers secondary is not the best. And I want to see Tanner McKee slinging it. I think he could do it. I think he could get the job done. And I know, he's only played 2 games, but I think our receivers are good enough to make him look good enough to win a game.
That is true, but I think with McKee though, he only played like the second half though against the Cowboys, and he looked. Don't get me wrong, he looked good. He had those 2 touchdowns. But I also just think if he played that whole game, I think it probably would have been closer for the Cowboys. They probably would have been maybe something like 30-something to like 31 to maybe like, I don't know, like maybe 17, something like that. So I don't know. But we'll just have to wait and see. I think though, what Sirianni will do if Jalen is struggling, I think he will go with Kenny Pickett. He's going to go with his gut, and he's going to say, I believe in Pickett. He's been here before, and they'll roll out with him. And obviously, if Pickett doesn't pan out, then they go McKee. But I think Jalen, a lot of people are really like thinking, oh, he's going to have some rust on him. He's not going to do so well because he's just coming back from injuries and everything like that. I think Jalen's going to be fine. And I think he has that killer dog mentality that, like, you know what, though? Like, I'm just going to go out there and just overwork people, and he's going to go insane. I think he's going to be.
You want to say anything else?
Joey hit everything for me. I'm good.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. We can move on. I just want to ask that question to you guys.
Yeah, Joey said everything for me, so I'm on team Tanner McKee, as I'm going to call him. But I guess big time injuries. Packers got the injury bug, and for the Philadelphia Eagles, I mean, this could be an interesting one. They are playing their they were playing their starters in a meaningless Week 18 game. The Packers lose Christian Watson and Jordan Love. He's banged up now heading into Wild Card Weekend. Look, I want to say I regret my decision last week now about going for the wreck. No, I'm kidding. This shows, though, in all seriousness, why I would have been wrong if something happened. Look, I know a legacy is a beautiful thing, and sports are an awesome thing, and wanting to go for a legacy in any sport or a record is a great thing. I don't want to diminish that. I don't want to oversight that. So anybody that wants to go for the record, guys, don't make fun of them. Don't call them stupid. I was that guy last week. Have some, understanding that it's for the right reasons. But looking at the way that this shook out for the Packers, this should show you, Philadelphia Eagles fans, we really got the good crumble of the cookie here, because Christian Watson out. You look at Jordan Love, he's got the elbow injury. Malik Willis also has a limited wrist injury. And then Romeo Doubs is still recovering from the flu. He did practice today, but he's still coming back from that. So there's a lot offensively that is shaken up right now for the Packers. So injury-wise, I would never say I'd hope for an injury, but it's going to be a benefit for the Birds.
Yeah, I mean, it's never good to get an injury, going to playoffs. But, I mean, they were dumb enough to do that. I mean, they played their starters in a meaningless game, and they got injured. I mean, same with the Ravens. Actually, Ravens wasn't really a meaningless game. It was to win the division. But, yeah, I mean, they're still – I think the Packers are still a good team. I mean, Jordan Love, I think he's going to be playing between his legs, because last time we played them, Jalen Carter almost broke his fucking leg. And I think he's going to be afraid. He's going to be afraid of our D-line going against him. So, and Christian Watson is probably one of their best receivers. So that's huge for us because he doesn't really have any other than Romeo Doubs, any other receivers to throw to. So I think that's kind of an advantage for us. But, I mean, I still think, again, I don't really think it's going to be a throw-heavy game for both the teams. I think it's going to be a straight, run, because we've said before, it's going to be cold. I think the Packers have one of the best, I would say, top, I'll give it top 10 running backs in the league right now. I mean, Josh Jacobs is playing phenomenal football. He's having a record year. So, yeah, I mean, that's what I got to say. Huge for us, but sucks for them.
KJ, Joe?
Yeah, you want to take it, Joe? You got it?
I mean, yeah, like I kind of said, the secondary injuries, I know Jack just kind of pointed, it's going to be cold, so yeah, they probably won't throw the football like that. But those injuries, they pile up, and I mean, this is really why you don't, like, they had nothing to play for last week, and honestly, I'm kind of like, yeah, like you said, I'm glad we didn't play Saquon, because if this would have happened to us, I would be so upset. Like, you put your players on the line for what? Like, what exactly? To beat the Bears, and you didn't even win. So now you got banged up, you lost to the Bears, and now it's like, let's hope we can win a playoff game, and let's hope we can make it and try to get healthy. But if it doesn't happen, then who's gonna take responsibility for that in Green Bay? That's gonna be interesting to see in the offseason too. If this goes as poorly as it could go for the Packers, then it's gonna be an interesting offseason for them.
Yeah, I mean, injuries are gonna happen, obviously, and I was telling Dalt when Dalt was talking about the whole why can't Saquon play? Why can't they go for the record? I was telling him because he could get injured. He's had some injuries in the past with the Giants. All the Giants fans were telling us before the season, have fun with Saquon. He gets injured all the time. Well, has he got injured all this year for the Eagles? I don't think
Knock on wood. No.
Knock on wood. I meant this season, though. I meant in the regular season.
Yeah, no.
Regular season. He has not. So we kind of proven them wrong. We kind of proven that with a better offensive line, a way better offensive line.
That's what I'm saying.
He'll be all right. So that's the main difference. But I think with these injuries happening with the Packers not having Watson, that is a big deal for them. I do feel like though the Packers are used to cold weather. I don't feel like the weather is really going to bother them. I mean, they play in the frozen tundra in Green Bay, Wisconsin, so they're used to this kind of weather. This is nothing for them. So I think if anything, this is going to be a back and forth game too, because also, even though the Eagles might not be really used to this weather, I feel like though the atmosphere is going to keep them going. The fans are going to keep them motivated and just ready to go at every second the ball is snapped. So I think it's going to be a really close game. I do think you can't sleep on the Packers, though. You cannot sleep on the Packers. I feel like Jordan Love does have some talent for sure. But, yeah, the defensive line, though, I mean, they faced this guy before, and I think they know how to get to him. They know how to get to him, and Vic Fangio probably is taking some of the I guess, film that he had from the Packers game and trying to see what he can do differently this time to try and attack Jordan Love. Now, obviously not trying to injure him, but just really trying to avoid from him making any big plays for the Packers. So I think the Eagles do win this game, but it is going to be close.
It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a dogfight. And either team, I think, can come out of this. I want to be evidently clear about that, guys. Like, the Packers are a great team. They're a great franchise, even though the way their season crumbled the way it did. They are still one of those teams. Like, if there were 3 teams in the NFC that I don't want to see on any day of the week, it's probably the Bucks. It's probably the Lions, of course, in their house. And honestly, I would probably say the Packers are up there. The Packers are one of those teams that you get them on the wrong day of the week, and even when they're injured, they still are well coached, and they're still a good franchise and organization. So stay tuned, guys. It's going to be a great game, and like KJ mentioned, we'll be there. So it should be fun. But
he's just a coach that not only educates you in football, but in life. Let's kick it to Coach's Corner.
You men know the drill. Let's see it on my count. Ready, set, go. You sons of bitches thought I died. Well, you're fucking wrong. God damn it. I'm back. I'm here. I'm ready for Eagles playoff football. There's nothing like it. It just get your blood boiling, man. Anyway, I want to start by talking about Kellen Moore potentially leaving. I mean, I don't know what the fuck it is with everybody bugging out and getting all scared about this. Let me share with you guys some knowledge from the old man. I don't have my old whistle on me, but if I did, you best believe I'd be freaking, screaming on that thing right now, because everybody needs to stop blowing their whistles about Kellen Moore. Guys, this offense's formula this year was a simple equation. It's 2 names, a first name and a last name. And I think everybody on this podcast can fucking solve the equation. I think my fucking dog back there could probably get the answer to this test right. Right, Lola? Yeah, it's Saquon fucking Barkley, all right? So I don't care if Lola's fucking coaching the offense next year. She's out there in a visor fucking handing out ice cream with Dougie P because he's coming back next year in some sort of consulting role. Stay tuned for that. But I don't care who the fuck's calling the offensive plays. If Saquon Barkley's out there, the equation's simple. Run the goddamn ball. Agree? Disagree? You guys think Kellen Moore deserves more credit? You think I'm shitting on him for no reason? Let me know.
I mean, we talked about this today or yesterday, Dalton, in the car. Or sorry, coach. Thank you, dickhead. Anyway. My fault. But yeah, it's just like, okay, well, it sucks because we've had 4 different coordinators, offense coordinators in the past 4 years, past 3 years or whatever. And it's just it sucks because now they start from square one again. And I mean, we talked about it in the car with nephew, and he made a good point. It's like, okay, well, why would a team be shopping around for our coordinator? Because obviously we had a pretty good offense this year with Saquon Barkley, with our receivers. So That's why. I think personally, I don't like it because it's just like he's been here for his whole season, and now all the players get used to what his scheme is as an offense coordinator. But I think we need to, give like a contract. You have to sign on for like 2 years. I know probably the coordinators wouldn't like that because they want to kind of move forward to the next bigger stage. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a shame to see Kellen Moore leave. And I was kind of ashamed. I was kind of disappointed on his reaction when he was asked in a press conference. There's been rumors about you getting scouted by other teams. Like, how are you feeling about it? And all he really said was, I had a really good season, blah, 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 which is good and all. But, like, if I was him, I'd be like, I'm not worried about that right now. I'm worried about the next game we're playing, the playoff game. I'm worried about the Super Bowl. He kind of just knelt down. Was like, yeah, fuck it. I'm ready to get out of here. So that kind of pissed me off. And I did not like that response to the question that was asked. But that's what I got to say.
I just think it's a revolving door too. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I just think it's a fucking revolving door. No, I'm kidding. Joey, KJ, you guys got anything you want to say?
Yeah, I'm confused. Who are we talking to, Coach or
Mac? What do you think about the whole situation?
Well, no, Joey was talking first. Let Joey talk.
Havens, what do you think about the whole situation?
So I got two things I'm feeling here. Number one, I said it the other day on I commented on one of the posts. I don't think wait till after the postseason to do any of this. Why is anybody trying to reach out to my coach right now? He needs to focus on the Green Bay Packers and winning this football game. He doesn't need to worry about the Saints or the Jaguars. They didn't make the playoffs. They're not worth it right now. Focus on the Philadelphia Eagles beating the Green Bay Packers, number one. Number two, I don't think anybody can just run this offense. I know Saquon's the big addition this year, and yeah, it's made a lot of a difference. But Kellen Moore, I don't think he would have had the same success he had last year. And I know the teams are different, but it's really the running back that was different. So I think that he needs to pump the brakes a little bit, stay here another year, build his resume up a little bit. Obviously, there's a reason nobody wanted to hire you after you left the Cowboys as a head coach. Nobody wanted to hire you after you left the Chargers as a head coach. So how about you stay with the Eagles, maybe win a ring this year, try and run it back next year, and then you could possibly start testing the market, and then by that time, the Eagles would be ready to move on, possibly.
Yeah.
If they want, I mean, they can, but in my opinion, Kellen Moore, I don't think he's it.
I agree with what Haven said, though. I think there should actually be a rule, though, for any coordinators to have any kind of meetings or any kind of interviews with other teams, especially ones that are eliminated. I just think it's stupid. As Dalt was just saying, it takes away from the concentration of what's going on in this situation. Obviously, it takes away from them actually doing their job currently, and that is being the offense coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles. So I think it's just stupid. I don't know why the NFL does this, where you're able to talk to other teams. Teams are able to interview you when you're currently in the playoffs. It's just stupid. I don't understand. That's something you gotta get rid of. It makes no sense. Oh, geez. Oh God!
Oh my God! Shard, geez, too soon.
Well, let's just say though, a former Eagle was passed around with Joe Taylor.
Joy. But yeah, I know. I think I know who you're talking about.
Wait, what did I say? What did I say?
Joe.
Oh,
but it's okay. Don't worry.
Joy. Yeah. Sorry,
Man,
Joe.
I got a little bit of something that I prepared for you this week before I go back to my clinic that I'm checked into. Yeah, my nephew checked me into a psych ward, like old person home. Now that I'm retired, little fucking asshole. Anyway, let's get into this because he finally let me out of my fucking cage. I want to give this team a little bit of a hype speech. I want to give them something to get their fucking blood boiling before they go play the little Peckers at our house. And listen, guys, everybody's got a plan until they step into Philly and get punched in the mouth. Detroit might think that they're the bullies on the block, but let me tell you something. They aren't the biggest bullies on the block, and they haven't been through what we've been through. They haven't had their dreams crushed and rebuilt, their hopes dashed and reignited. They don't know what it's like to fight tooth and nail for every inch, every yard, every damn second. Philly is where Super Bowl aspirations go to die. This city is where we turn your dream vacation into a flat tire. You think you're on the road to glory, cruising towards that Super Bowl, all sunshine, smiles, and fucking bullshit. Well, guess what, Sally? Welcome to fucking our house, Philadelphia, where we're not just going to fucking pop your tire. We're going to slash all 4 of those motherfuckers. We're going to watch you sputter and spall and leave you stranded on the side of the street. We're not here for your plans, your fantasies, and your almost. We're here to fucking crush them. You had a dream, and as John Gruden once said, one of the greats, I'm turning it into a fucking nightmare. Detroit, Green Bay, and every other team in the NFC might think that they're tough, but they haven't gotten their dick kicked in and their face planted in the dirt of the sandbox. We are the biggest bullies on the block. Get ready, man. I'm fucking hyped up. I'm here for it. Let's go. Playoff football's fucking back.
That was incredible. That was really incredible.
But I will say this, Coach, though. I will say the Lions have been through a lot, though. They've been through it a lot. So I got to give the Lions fans a lot of credit. They've been through like no other fan has been through. And they've been loyal. They're loyal. They are not bandwagons over there in Detroit. I will give them that. So that's what I will say.
That's great.
Coach.
I can't wait to kick their ass in the NFC Championship, Mac, and watch Junior cry all the way home. Well, Junior will already be home, but if we have to go to Detroit to play the NFC Chip, Jared Goff, Jared Gate, Jared Kant, that guy's a fucking bozo. We got that in the bag. Stay tuned, Mac.
Yeah, I mean, like it's a Philly thing. Honestly, like that's what it's been. It's a Philly thing. This team has fought tooth and nail all season long, kind of recovering from last season's downfall. I think they're ready to come in, kick ass, take names, because this Philadelphia Eagles team, like I've said before, it is a special, special team. And, like we said in the intro, all roads lead through Philadelphia for the playoffs. And I think this team with Saquon Barkley, with Jalen Hurts, with A.J. Brown, with Devontae Smith, with our offensive linemen, we will be undefeated in these playoffs, and we will show everyone, all the doubters, all the haters, that this team is legit. This team means, this team is ready. And I am so excited because, they're going to the damn Super Bowl, and this is going to be kind of our first game. They played us first week in the regular season, and we still won, but we're still working things out, hammering things out. But we're a brand new team after week 5, and I don't think they know what they're expecting this year. So I'm excited for this team, and again, this is a special, special team from what I've seen.
I'm very special. I'm going to be singing that song all week. Like, KJ called me, and KJ, maybe we should have recorded that reaction because that might have been an all-time Dalt moment. You guys can KJ, what was that sound like? I probably sounded like a squirrel, like some kind of animal that like has a high-pitched voice. I was going ape shit.
It was like,
guys, be quiet real quick. Be quiet for like 30 seconds. Ready?
What?
That's what they've been waiting for.
Just be careful. Cut it at 15 so we don't get hit with a copyright. Yeah, that takes me back. I just hear the words. Takes you back to 2018.
All right, we might get copyrights now.
Yeah, now you're going to want to cut it. But I hear the point you're making. When you hear that song, dude, you get goosebumps. The hairs on your neck stand up, and it reminds you of how – that was why I posted that video today on our Instagram and TikTok. It's blowing up on our TikTok. It's got like 2,000 likes last time I checked, and it's rolling. But that's what it's like being a fan of Philadelphia sports. There's the reporters that midway throughout, they're freaking losing their shit. Oh, like that's probably what I sounded like today, right, Mac?
Yeah, it was crazy. I'll tell you one thing. He was like, I'm going to be there. Oh, my God. We're going. Mac, get ready. Get ready, Mac. Come on. And it was just madness, and it was awesome. And I started playing out loud for my dad and my brother. My brother just looks at me. He's like, is he okay? And I'm like, well,
his brother probably thinks I'm having an aneurysm, but
Yeah,
that's how this Eagles fan especially is. I'm a nut for it, man. I love my birds.
Yeah, but it was honestly, it made a lot of sense, and it was very necessary to freak out like that. So
it's the playoffs, man.
Cool.
It's different. It's something's
we've
in the
had
air.
a lot of great memories, me and Dole and Jack as well at these playoff games. So well, either outside tailgating or doing whatever. So I think to have a chance to make more of those kind of memories of us being on top of the freaking Cougar bus or whatever it is,
Cougar
Uber, or dancing with opposing fans, doing dance battles and whatever. Just having fun. So I think that's like the main thing about it. We're not actually going to slash Packers fans' tires.
No, fuck, we are, bitch.
Who said that? Who said that?
I don't know. I think your coach uncle said it or whatever.
Did he get out of the nursing home I checked him into again?
Yeah, he broke out again.
Damn it. Sorry. Damn it.
Broke out again. And he stole all the freaking frozen yogurts, too.
Really?
Yep.
Stole all where all my goddamn snacks went.
Havens, do you think this team is Super Bowl bound?
Let me say this. So, week 4, let's paint a picture here. Week 4, we're 2-2. I think it was coming off the loss to the Buccaneers, right? Like 33 to 6 or something, like something stupid. And we're all sitting here freaking about, oh, Sirianni, we got to fire him, we got to get somebody else, we got to do this, we got to do that. What's he do? What's this team do? He shaves his head, goes out. 2 weeks later, they beat the Browns. They start a win streak. They start piling wins up. Something comes out, I want to say, right before the Steelers game. Oh, there's drama in the locker room. Here we go. This is going to be it. This is the point where the season goes south. And what do? They come out. Jalen goes for almost 300 passing yards. Passing game's automatically fixed, and we haven't heard anything since. They just keep finding a way to, even against the Commanders. Yeah, they lost the game. What do they do the next week? 41-7 against the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, yeah, granted, the Cowboys didn't have Dak. They didn't have CeeDee Lamb. But still, they're a good team. Micah Parsons was on the field. Deron Bland was on the field. They're good players. They were great players last year. What happened this year? Who knows? But the Eagles have found a way to bounce back from everything this year. And I don't think any team has really had to endure what they've gone through, even after last year. You could say this whole year has just been a bounce back. After what we saw last year, this team is just, they know what they want. And like Dickerson said in that video, I choose violence. And that's how I look at this playoff run. They're going to run through everybody. They're going to run through the Packers this weekend. They're going to run through whoever comes in here in the divisional round. Then they're going to go to Detroit, and they're going to run through them. They're going to take some kneecaps off of Detroit, and then we're going to run through whoever shows up in the Super Bowl.
Fuck yeah.
Let's go, Havens.
Let's go. Woo. The Havens have spoken. They have spoken.
Havens is ready for it. Mac's ready for it. I'm ready for it. Jack's for it. Guys, if you aren't, please be sure to drop a comment, drop a like, drop a subscription. All those little things help us a ton as we're building this. So this was a great show tonight. We got 66 of you guys in here right now. That's fantastic. So we had a lot of viewers tonight. We appreciate the hell out of all you guys. If you aren't tapped in yet, make sure you tap in so you can hang out with us, because come Sunday, me, Jack, and Mac, who I'll be with, will be covering the post game. I don't know how quickly Mac and I will be able to get there, but we'll at least call in from the car or somewhere. We'll call in and give you guys an experience of what it's like. Maybe we might even do interviews after if we decide we want to stay there. Who knows? We're kicking around a lot of things, but we will be there at least Sunday walking around. So I know Frankie Paul was asking me and some other people where they can find us. Just shoot me a message on Instagram. We will be around the G lot, I would imagine, because KJ and I aren't having a tailgate. G lot, D lot, wherever Chris is, we'll pretty much announce where we are. But if you have KJ's and I's number, Just know if we don't get back to you, it's nothing personal. It's just we're filming a ton of content for our vlog. So understand, get ahead and tell us now if you want to meet up with us so we can make sure we schedule that time with you. But other than that, Jackson, it's playoff week, baby. Take us out of here.
Yeah, where's Zep at?
It's not playoff week, baby. It's fucking war zone. It's the fucking war zone. First week of the wild card playoffs. Eagles play the Packers. We are going for their kneecaps. We are punching in the face, and we are getting the living shit out of the Packers. Without further ado, hey Josh, it's an outro. That's an outro. Hit that motherfucking outro.
What we got? 302 birds. You know, stinks. Go Birdies.
Oh my gosh, Chad.
Your favorite Chicagoan. Go Phils.
As always, God bless. Go Birds.